doesn't get funny anymore. Like Milk is a one where it's starting to get on my nerves. Don't get me wrong.
Do you know what's gone wrong already here? Do you know what's gone wrong? He's wearing a Red Bull shirt.
Response, it's broken. You know, so guys, if you don't know how to spell broken, type it up, it's B-R-O-K-E-N. But people were then twisting it to say B-W, like it's broken, it's broken. You know, like how like a child might say it. And that was the one, John, that I don't get why people were doing that. Like, why was...
Because I sound like I'm saying it, mate. Right, you know when you got your helmet like this? Push your cheeks together, right, like this. You know, and try to stay broken, alright? Do it right now. Yeah, wherever you are in the world, do it right now. You can't pronounce an R properly. It's broken. You can't do it, right?
But the belief that he isn't going to go
It's
out...
broken! Anti-stall! It's off. Fuck!
I'm massively overrated. Let's see what they say about me. I reckon.
It might seem like we're just kind of saying he's not an athlete, but he is a bit of a meme, if anything. We love to laugh with him. But when it comes to the real physical Formula 1 drives, John, he finished outside the top 10 last year in 2019.
P11.
When, of course, his teammate Carlos Sainz drove to an amazing, I think it was 6th place, and of course he won Driver of the Year from us and the official Formula 1. Is he taking Formula 1 seriously? And he did an okay performance with McLaren in the 2020 winter testing in Barcelona. Of course, the only drive we have seen this year. So for 2020, do you think he'll have a good season?
No.
Because it's got to be hard to step out of the Twitch world into real life. And is he going to be is he going to be serious on the track?
Twitch is P1.
Because what we've seen in the virtual world is not really. He's there. He's having for a smile. And if he has technical difficulties on the track, you know what I mean? He just laughs like he did in Australia. So if we turn up to Spielberg and he has technical difficulties or a problem with the car, is he going to get out and go, you know what, my bad, it's funny, and just laugh at everyone and do memes and stuff? Is he going to be...
Whoa, I never laugh at anyone.
Is he going to turn on that serious switch at some point, Jordan, for the
I think every F1 driver has that serious switch in them, because you've got to try and like convert the funny side of things into the serious world of Formula 1, you know, quite quickly, and especially more than ever with what's going on at the moment. Like, people have been locked away in their homes, you know, Formula 1 drivers as well, who have been streaming on Twitch and have been doing these virtual Grand Prix, or even doing other events. Like Lando Norris himself has even done the IndyCar race, which we're not going to be speaking about today.
Why?
And then obviously, you know, I think there will be coming a time where like you have to kind of switch off from the whole like funny side of things, where like we have seen them on Twitch where like they are like having a joke and a carry on with one another, which is something totally different that we've never seen before in Formula 1, and I think it's a breath of fresh air. But I'll move on.
Thank you.
A bit later on, but I think when racing does come back, we will see more
I'll take
serious
credit.
Lando Norris, who is determined to better his 11th place finish last season, who wants to do well in a McLaren. Of course, his last year with Carlos Sainz as his teammate before Daniel Ricciardo comes in alongside him in 2021. And as well, the whole banter thing with Carlos and Lando, I've absolutely loved it, if I'm totally honest. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I'm pretty sure
it's not everyone's cup of tea.
May disagree with what we have to say, or maybe even agree with the ups or downs with Lando Norris. But I think having these two, like you know, Lando.
Am
Norris
I just a meme?
I think does he take it seriously? I think he does, because if he didn't take it seriously, he wouldn't be here. Like, he would be still down in Formula 3 and Formula 2, like, and he'll be 25, 26, and like pretty much his opportunity as an F1 driver is gone. So he will take it seriously. He did do a decent performance in 2019, so the seriousness is there, and we've heard it on team radios before where he's like shouting on the team radio like, "Jarv, shut up, I'm racing," or
"Whoa,
like, it's broken,
not Jarv."
Which, you know, it's like, it's just, again, like that's a persona he brings with him. So like, no, I think that he's got the seriousness, but I've seen a lot of like arguments on Twitter as well about like, is he actually like mature enough in that sense? And one thing I've really got to say about that is,
what'd you say, chat? Am I mature enough? No? Freaking get out of here.
Is that I think when we saw Daniel Ricciardo come into Formula 1, like, I'm not going to compare the two in terms of personalities here, but Ricciardo, he was happy, he was joking, he was laughing, he was making jokes, and we were like, we've seen like people like you know, laughing, having a joke, but not every single week. And Ricciardo is like, he just brought a brand new personality into Formula One, and everyone, you know, like maybe you know, several other drivers like Hamilton or a Vettel, where like, you know, they can't have a joke, but at the same time they're very serious and professional. And Norris is like a relaxed kind of, I'm just gonna bring a different kind of vibe, and that's what he brings.
Do you know what's gone wrong already here? Do you know what's gone wrong? He's wearing a Red Bull shirt.
Table as well, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, and not everybody likes that. Like, they want to see serious Formula One drivers and serious, like, straight-faced in interviews.
Sorry, my bad then.
Say your race and just
my bad.
And just
I won't be serious.
even say serious
Actually,
stuff on social media, and that's what people want to see. And if you,
I'm more
if you want to
serious
see
this
that,
year than I was
fair enough.
last year.
But it's a totally new age of Formula One drivers now. Like, people streaming on Twitch and, you know, being heavily involved in social media. Like, the era of Vettel and Hamilton and, I mean, Raikkonen, of course. Like, they didn't grow up with all this social media stuff. But the likes of Verstappen,
Ren,
Charles,
thanks for the sub.
George, Albon and Norris has, and they're just being something totally different. I think, you know, like, Norris is like I said, like you said at the start, Lyle, he has become some sort of a meme, which I think it is, in a way, it is kind of good, because I think that kind of draws attention to, let's say, some other younger fans who will want to support Norris because they find his sense of humour funny. They like what he does. They like it that they don't take it serious. Well, you know, like, they do take it seriously, but not as serious as where, like, you know, like, they're not take before. It doesn't get funny anymore. Like, Milk is a one where it's starting to get on my nerves. Don't get me wrong. I think it's funny that he's got this, like, thing where, like, you know, like, Daniel Ricciardo's got the honey badger and Carlos has got chili with him, and you know, other things like that.
No, but I mean, like, their nicknames. So, like, Daniel Ricciardo being a honey badger, obviously honey badger is native to Australia. Carlos Sainz, I love the chili. I love the chili logo. You know, obviously, you know, Spanish, spicy. I don't know if the chili's to Spain. I don't know if that's, but, like, obviously it's, you know, it's chili, Spain, spicy. I love that.
I don't even know. That's not even got anything to do with it.
I mean, come on, like, so we call Daniel Ricciardo the honey badger. We don't necessarily call Carlos the chili, but, like, you know, you could see somebody being called the chili. So imagine Lando Norris, and coming up now is the 2020, 2021, sorry, teammate at McLaren. Car number 3, the honey badger. Car number 4, the milk. What, you like 7% skilled, full fat, 1% milk, 4% milk?
It's got
actually, yeah, put a percentage sign behind it, and it's 4% milk. There we go. There we go.
Made in Britain.
The milk? Well, of course you make it the milkman, don't you, right?
Anyways, and like, yeah, like I said, that the meme, it's like, yeah, it was funny, but it's just getting a bit, like, boring now. And
the milk.
And I think as well, like, with people bringing in, like, with Lando bringing in such a young,
I like watching stuff
audience, like that we could see this recurring a lot, where it's like the same meme where it's funny, like, oh yeah, it's funny, I get it, and then after a while it's like, okay, this is getting a bit boring now. Can you please stop doing this?
That's because you're older.
But in that sense, I think there is, you know, things good and bad. I think Lando Norris does take the sport seriously. Like I said, he does take it a lot, very seriously. Because, like I said, he wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't.
I don't want to say immature, because he's not. But that kind of direction, if you know what I mean, where, like, he can have a laugh with people and get involved with memes and stuff like that. It's always healthy. Just has never looked better in Formula One. Norris is part of this generation of brand new Formula One. George, there's another one, who will be challenging for world championships. Albon,
that's boring now, isn't it?
If Verstappen
George,
leaves, I don't know, all the way.
Yeah.
Lyle, what do you think about that? Do you think he can one day become? I know there's other factors to consider, which we'll think about.
What the hell?
You know, like car and team and stuff like that. But in terms of Lando,
they're not haters. They're just discussing it
right now.
They don't.
What you've seen.
Maybe
before,
they hate me, but
do you think he can become world champion one day?
Look, I think when you were saying about other drivers, sometimes it's just a little bit of a popularity contest in Formula One, and it's popularity contest within the fans. So you've got Max Verstappen, who is insanely popular within the Dutch crowd and the world, and what I get from Verstappen, and it's not just Verstappen lovers or anything, or Red Bull lovers, is that he will become world champion. He will do this, he will do that. And somebody who, you know, I think people have decided on him before he's really had a chance to prove himself loads. And a lot of people are just popular. They just like him for some, I don't say for some reason, that sounds not very good, because obviously he does deserve it. But some people just like him because they like to poke him out as a bit of a funny man in Formula One. Like just what you were saying there, Jordan, about the Belgium, the team radio there, when he goes, I can't, it's broken, it's broken, it's broken. A real response, it's broken. You know, so guys, if you don't know how to spell broken, type it up, it's BROKEN. But people were then twisting it to say BW, like it's broken, it's broken. You know, like how like a child might say it. And that was the one, Jordan, that I don't get why people were doing that. Like, why was...
Because I sound like I'm saying it, mate. Right, you know when you got your helmet like this? Push your cheeks together, right, like this. You know, and try to stay broken, alright? Do it right now. Yeah, wherever you are in the world, do it right now. You can't pronounce an R properly. It's broken. You can't do it, right? It's impossible.
He said it's broken, it's broken. Why is it now gone to it's I can't say that. It's broken, it's broken. I don't get why that happens. Because if anything, you could turn anything like that. You could turn like a Valtteri Bottas into that, like Valtteri it's Williams, or you know, Kimmy, you can't have Kimmy can't have Winky or something. You know,
Be very, very careful with that one.
You cannot say anything. He did not say broken. Like, honestly, I think that's, when it comes to Lando, like, that's what I kind of get annoyed at. Obviously, we've all said before what we get annoyed at, you know, Valtteri and porridge and stuff. Valtteri, it's porridge. Lando milk, of course. But
I haven't heard that one before.
to be honest, it is like, for me, Lando, it's broken. He didn't say broken, he said broken. And again, that's what people like to brand him as.
I didn't say that,
joker,
did I?
This clown, this funny guy. And I think sometimes that kind of is a little bit of an excuse for the belief that he isn't going to go
It's
as...
broken! Anti-stall! It's off. Fuck!
far as the other people like Charles and Max.
400 views video. Wow, these folks don't know what they are saying. Do they have a standards of how F1 driver needs to be? Just be the Lando Norris we all love, and we know what you can do inside a F1 car. We move faster than ever.
Look, you don't need to hate, please. You don't need to go and freaking spam anything on their channel or anything, alright? They're just having a genuine discussion. Like, maybe I don't get this broken. Like, the broken, I mean, if you listen to it, it sounds like I say it's broken, right? But you don't have to go and freaking start hating them, alright? They're just having a freaking discussion about me. A lot of it makes sense. I mean, I know a lot of it, like what they're saying is pretty much true. But it doesn't mean you have to go freaking spam anything on their chat, right?
And I just think, like, why... Max Verstappen, sorry, Lando Norris is younger than Max and Charles. He's the youngest driver on the grid. No, he's not. Is he? I think he is. He's 19 on 20 after the USA. One of the youngest. I think he is the youngest. Yes, he is the youngest. So, that being said, he's got loads more years to talk about that. And then how does it go? Obviously, you know, like Alex. Again, I know you can't live on that forever because of that being... Is he a born driver like some of them? I don't think he's probably as fierce. But again, that's just how he comes across right now. I think if Lando could come across fierce, he would. And I think next year, Jordan, he's got the honey badger next to him, which again, you've already said there, you know, he's got a smile as big as Australia. And he has got a funny mentality, but we also know he's got a serious mentality. And from the honey badger, we also know that he can turn it off and on when he wants to. year we could see this year even. No, sorry, yes, next year with Ricciardo, of course. We could see an entirely different Lando Norris. More fierce, but only that fierceness will prove to the fans that he can do this. But apart from that, we know nothing about him. And if anything, George, just the last thing I'm going to say.
People can have opinions,
Even if they're wrong.
Yeah, like, it's fine what they're thinking, you know? There's nothing wrong with it.
That might actually help Lando because we don't know what he's going to do. Isn't that the great thing? We don't know what Lando's going to do. We don't know if Lando's good enough. We don't know if Lando's strong enough. We don't know if Lando wants it more and will put his neck on the line and will risk everything to win because we've seen his happy, smiley side. It's awesome. It's a little bit like that. I don't know, like that kid who, you know, used to play football with you when you were kids. He would never touch the ball, but then when he finally had to play a game, he would be like, like Mo Salah on the wing. He would be incredible, like that maybe. And I think that it's good, and I think that he has a great poker face, Jordan, for what he has. I do believe that he can win the World Championship at some point, hopefully, if he has a good car. I do think he's a very good driver. I do think he can be fierce, and of course, as you said there, you know, we have seen that on the track. Maybe possibly not as fierce now, of course, as Max and Charles, but somebody who I think can get there. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving his poker face because in Twitch he's not giving anything away in what he can do, and maybe that'll lead to Daniel Ricciardo walking into McLaren next year and going right. You know, the
are realistically the same. He's won what, 4 or 5 titles? I think his last title was in 2017 when he won the FIA Formula 3 championship. Like, not the one we'll have today. I think it's like the one that Max Verstappen was in, and Ocon and Bottas.
The European Formula 3.
Yeah, like the European Formula 3. The one where Mick Schumacher came from as well. So he won that one. I think he won it. Did he win it 2 years in a row, I believe? Or I'm not too sure.
Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you'd want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus. But as it turns out, that might be what you get.
What?
16, then won it again in 17. I could be totally wrong with this, but
he won it in 17 with Carlin. That's all I know. He won it in 2017.
I think he won it in 2016,
but yeah.
I didn't.
He won, like, you know, he's won like the Formula Renault Cup and all that, and he's won like a variety of other things. So he's got the ability to do it in kind of like, you know, let's say the same car. Whether that's down to the other cars being unreliable or there was no competition, perhaps, like maybe he was the bit more experienced out of the lot of them. Yeah. I really don't know.
Did 1 year in every series.
Career, so obviously enlighten me in the comments if I am wrong with this. But he's won championship. He isn't like, oh my god, like this kid's an absolute joke. Like, you know, like if it wasn't for that retirement or for the other retirements, he could have been a lot higher in the standings. Like in Australia, he qualified in Q3. He got into Q3. I think it was P6 or P5. I'm not too sure. And then in Bahrain, he scored his first Formula 1 points. So he's got off to a pretty good start. It's just that sometimes that car let him down the same way Carlos let him down. The car let Carlos down. But the reason why the gap was so big between Carlos and Lando was because Carlos is the quicker driver. He's the more experienced driver. So, of course, Carlos is going to do well. If Carlos got beaten by Lando...
Could Lando maybe help Carlos, do you think, kind of go to Ferrari? Or do you think Lando had nothing to do with Carlos going to Ferrari and, of course, winning, like, Driver of the Year from us in F1?
Now seems to 300 bits.
I don't think he had to say. I think it was just down to Carlos, and Carlos
never change Lando.
Cheers.
Himself that, you know, Carlos had the ability to do what he did. He was settled at McLaren and, you know, he got the drive to Ferrari, fully deserved. But we're not here to talk about Carlos.
My ears are bleeding.
But like, and obviously clear him, but he will beat him by a decent mile. But that's not a bad thing on Norris. It's just Norris is a young rookie. But like, I think next couple of years and all that, but it was all right. Is Lando Norris overrated?
Yes.
And of course, guys, as always, let us know in the comment section below. So Lyle, you're going to get the first answer on the first ask on the dreaded question. Is Lando Norris, in your own opinion, overrated?
See, again, it comes back to what I said before about being popular and being overrated or being underrated. If you have all this hype behind you,
how do I spell it, Chan?
You know, if you have all this support behind you and all this kid's going to go places and he doesn't, of course, that's when it ends up being you are incredibly overrated. Very much like He is trying to. There is obviously, you know, financial terms. There is obviously a lot of things behind him. Also as well, he's just kind of, you know, being a teenager in Formula One. That was the, you know, the impression that was coming into Formula One. He was another Brit in Formula One, which of course is, you know, we have very big names who have been in Formula One. Of course, he's funny. He's Mr. Milk. He's Mr. Twitch. He's Mr. Broken. He's been by Carlos Sainz. Let's just
Sam,
give him,
thanks
you know,
for
let's say that
1,100 bits. Sadriz, thanks for the 300 bits. Geo Tiger, thanks for the 300.
It would be a 10th place. 10th place in Formula 1, obviously, because he hasn't achieved that yet. You know, he got 11th last year. Because it's a level playing field.
How much F1 news is speculation and made up BS?
All the time. That's all it pretty much is.
And very much like Rosberg and but and he didn't achieve that. That's when people start.
Microsoft Edge from your taskbar adds 50 bhp to your F1 car, at least that's what Lewis said.
Start to think,
really?
Sainz is overrated. Why is that? Because he's driving. He's not performing like 4th or the 6th fast. Obviously, I think he's a very special driver, very, very funny, as we said there before. But that's the thing, because of all of his jokes, because of how we went on last year, and obviously because of having Carlos Sainz as teammate, I don't think people see him as this big achiever like Alexander Albon is. And if anything, he should be almost, because as you said there, you know, McLaren's on the question: is Lando Norris an overrated driver?
Yeah.
No. I don't think he is, in my opinion. But no,
Go on, Sad!
Underrated neither as well, which...
Alright, moving on.
Also, I'll just kind of answer this as well. Is Lando the number 2?
Well, he got 377 likes already.
Danny Rick comes into the team. But of course, answer the first question. Is Lando Norris an overrated driver?
The milk.
No, I don't think he is, in my opinion. But no, do I think he's underrated neither as well, which... I just think he's a good driver. I would say, yeah, he's got a decent career ahead of him. Possibly, like I said, if he's got the right team around him. And I've said before, I think he's got the ability to become a world champion. But
Mr. Milk. Chat. Oh! I'm gonna end my stream on a great note. Look at the dislikes. Oh, you didn't go freaking dislike. Oh, you are. Chat, look. Chat. Let's clear something up, alright? Look, right? I want to be known for having a great community, which I've got, okay? Yeah, with all of you. Yeah, and so many people like watching me on Twitch and everything and supporting me, right? But I don't want any of it to be turned into something wrong where people freaking...
Lando, can you say hi to Amanda, #1 fan from Puerto Rico?
Hi. Like, I don't want you to turn it the other way and like start hating on people, alright? Like, you don't need to go and dislike it. Like, this doesn't matter so much, but... You don't need to comment bad things on anyone in support of me, alright?
Truly an excellent watch.
Moving up and down, side to side like a roller coaster.